You are listening to Upfront with Frank Rothstein on the City World Radio Network. Also, we will be appearing on Skies Crescent Radio on Spreaker, one of the better podcast sites out there, Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. And just look for Skies Crescent Radio, and you'll find us and a few other shows and all of Jade's beats and all those other things that she's putting out there. Videos of what she cooked for dinner and doing and all those things. And speaking of who, sitting with me as always, a woman. When she's not making music, she's saving lives by throwing guitar picks like ninja stars. It is Jade Zabrick. Hello, Jade. And she's waving. She's silently waving to her own people on Live Me, not to me, not to my Live Me people. Yell hello. Oh God. Live Me on both sites, mine and Jade's. Hello, gang, all over the place. And if you hear the insane ways I introduce Jade every week, once again on Jade's feed, if you give her 10,000 coins worth of gifting, no matter what you give her, I will introduce her for 55 straight minutes. I can do it. I'm sick that way. So anyway, there's a lot going on in the world. I'm not really looking to read music, and I really wasn't even looking to talk about anything going on in the news, but let's leave out all the headlines and let's have some fun. Let's try that. Oh, I just got pinged because I got tagged in Skies Crescent Radio. Okay. I got to turn off my for some reason I updated the software on my Samsung. This is through Android. And I was talking to somebody else today, and we're all saying the same thing, which is whatever happened, it's bounced. It has a mind of its own, the phones. So, yeah, I keep turning off notification sounds, and it keeps on chiming. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the world. Let's start off with the best possible news that I could think of, considering all that's going on this week. No babies, no babies being born, no one hitting a lottery or anything else. 13 years after they were stolen, Dorothy's ruby slippers have been found, so says the FBI. And I got this off the CNN website. I'm sure it's in other places. And here it is. Glinda the Good Witch in The Wizard of Oz says it best when she describes the appeal of those ruby red slippers to the Wicked Witch of the West. Their magic must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly. There you go. 13 years ago, someone stole them. And it took that long to find it. So let me start reading. For 13 years, the fate of the missing pair of ruby red slippers, I'm tripping over my own tongue today. Pair of red sequined slippers worn by actress Judy Garland as Dorothy has eluded law enforcement. But there's no place like home, as they say, and the shoes have been found, according to the FBI. On Tuesday afternoon, authorities intend to reveal details of the shoes recovery at the FBI Minnesota. I'm just reading bad today. At the Minneapolis headquarters, it is unclear if anyone would be charged or where they could end up next. The shoes are one of 4 known pairs that Garland wore as Dorothy in the 1939 film. They disappeared in the middle of the night in August of 2005 from the Judy Garland Museum in the actress's hometown of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Well, that's pretty cool. They got them back. And that there's usually multiple pairs of something that you could recognize. There usually is, because easily something can break. It's just the way it goes. Now, to me, if you said which pair are her ruby red slippers, I'm going with the one when they filmed her clicking her shoes 3 times, sending her back to Kansas. That's the only pair I'm interested in. I don't know how you identify it unless there's a chip on the side, but to me, that is the pair. I know there's other backups, but that's the pair. And that is actually not a strange thing, you know. I mean, I'm going back to when television westerns were pretty big. And the rifleman, Chuck Connors, he had 3 rifles that he used in that show. They were used for different purposes. They were used as backups, but the one that I consider his is in the opening credits when he's walking down the street, just cranking off 11 shots, and that's his gun. But going back to Dorothy, I hope they return safe and sound, and let's have a little more security about movie stuff, shall we? Memorabilia is memorabilia, but not when they're stolen. Let's see. What did that say? Okay. I'm adjusting my Live Me thing. I'm talking on the radio. I'm all over the place. It's 9:07. Our phones are open. 646-690-2976. 646-690-2976. There's always something going on around here. We'll play some music in a little while. I was looking at the... actually, I got a few stories from the New York Times this week. And I saw a story on the new high rent districts in New York, which is really insane because growing up, you can get killed walking around some of these areas. But the numbers are going up like crazy. Everyone has an idea of what New York rents are like, so I don't have to read that. I do want to get to the list because it's interesting to me. Let me see. Yes, I'm not talking with any great pace today, but hey, what the hell? Who cares? Let me see. Where's my list? Here it is. Let me see. Look at this. Oh, by the way, just so people know why I'm so interested, because I come from around there, Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, is on the list. There you go. That's what counts. That's what I wanted to let everyone know. But Brighton Beach was never historically a bad area. Oh, no. There are worse areas like Bushwick. I remember growing up as a kid, if you went into Bushwick, you were in deep trouble. Parts of Flatbush are going up like crazy. There's just a lot of neighborhoods that are skyrocketing because no one can afford Manhattan anymore. Matter of fact, no one can afford New York. Let me put it this way. If you have money and you're looking to buy something in New York, better off you go to like one of those other states where there's like abandoned towns, like in the Dakotas. You can buy a ghost town for $800,000. These last I read, as opposed to $11 million for a loft in Manhattan, and that's what really happens. It's just a fortune to live around. I don't know why anybody. I mean, I'm used to living here. I should have left when things were dirt cheap all over the place. I could have bought a town. I could have been the mayor and the sheriff. Okay, let's see. Ditmas Park, Brooklyn went up 45%. So from $1,388 a month to 2018. Prospect Lefferts Gardens, Brooklyn, $1,382 to 2000. Crown Heights. Here's an area that you only heard about when there was murder. Way back when, it went from $1,685 to $2,349. Central Park South. That went up like 1,100, an average 1,100. Wow, smallest one. That's 6,590 to 7,651. And that's the smallest percentage, like 16%. Wow. Why would anybody want to do this? I think they're crazy. I really think people are crazy. But I lived in Brooklyn Heights for a while. I mean, dollar for dollar, square foot for square foot, if you spend the same money, you'll get something much nicer in Brooklyn Heights. Because you have older buildings with a little more detail. You'll probably find a fireplace somewhere. Anyway, that's what's going on with that story. Just wanted to let everyone know my old hometown is on a high rent increase area. Sad news is, I don't know who's really keeping track around the world. The New York, the Village Voice has shut its doors after 63 years. That's the Voice, the newspaper of Greenwich Village, letting you know everything that was going on in the arts and locals. Last year they stopped print. They went all into, everything went digital. The death knell of all business. And that was it. 1 year later, that was it. The Village Voice is gone. And as much as I hate to throw around the word iconic, because everybody who sneezes gave an iconic one. This really was an icon. It was the Village Voice. If you made the cover of it at one time, you were doing something really well. And that is just sad. But all good things. Let's see what else is going on. I saw a little story that says New Jersey ranks number 3 on the most psychopathic state in the United States. It's number 3 on the list. I like it. Connecticut was found to be number 1. California number 2. Yeehaw. Okay. At least New York is not on there. My luck, it would be from Brooklyn. I'd be one of the psychopaths. But yeah, that's it. New Jersey. That's the end of it. And I think I'm going to play a song. Take a break for a minute. Give my tongue a break because I'm tripping all over it today. In the meantime, I'm going to adjust my headphones, adjust my phone, and all that. So last week, if you remember, I was talking about all the good music I used to listen to on Saturday Night Live. Not when it was SNL. Saturday Night Live. And a lot of great music came from it. I remember one of the first things I ever saw was the late comedian Andy Kaufman doing Mighty Mouse theme song as he lip-synced Here I Come to Save the Day. But that's another story. But one of the great acts that came out of it was the Blues Brothers. John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and what was really not a comedic band. This was a great band. All the great artists from like the 60s, the 70s, all of them, the late 50s, they were all there. And they covered Sam Morin, Dave Prater's Soul Man. So that's what I'm going to play. So from 1978, it's the Blues Brothers and Soul Man. There you go. Yeah, they had some great acts, and the cast could sing, and sometimes they just did some great music. And as we all know, what happened with Soul Man as the group went on, the music went on, and unfortunately John Belushi died. And, the people took over the role, but, So as we all know this week, the actor Jeffrey Owens, who was an actor on The Cosby Show, a few weeks ago, someone took a picture of him as he was working in... Where was he working? Where was he? Oh, damn! I'm just in bad shape today. Where was he working? Look at this. He was working in New Jersey at Trader Joe's. I'm all over. Here's what I did. I made a mistake. I didn't print up all the things I'm reading, which is usually what I do, which is usually easier for me. So even if I know it's in the middle of the story, I know roughly where to find it. By using my computer, I have to scroll, and sometimes it slips. Anyway, Jeffrey Owens was working over in the New Jersey Trader Joe's. He was an actor most known for his role on The Cosby Show. And this is a case of, now picture, this is the way it usually goes. A good review can help, a bad review can hurt, but no review will leave you in oblivion, and that'll just leave you nowhere. Someone decided to take his picture and go through social media and try to humiliate him because he's working at Trader Joe's. He's bagging groceries. He's an on and off actor, but he wasn't the star of the show. And as he's saying, people don't realize it because of the reruns that are always on. The Cosby Show ended 26 years ago in 1992. So he hasn't had the most steadiest of jobs through time. So he got himself a job. Some idiot started the trend of humiliating him, and then people, of course, started to defend him. Jay-Z offered him a job and said, just sent out a tweet, come work over here, we're starting a project. The man can be very funny. I'm not familiar with his dramatic acting skills, but he can be very funny. And he's going to get work, just to spite the people on the internet, as always, who cannot help but open their mouths or their tweets, these idiots. So, good for Jeff. He's going to wind up get work. He may not want. Wow, something's going on outside. Cool. He may not want work because of this, but he is saying that he wouldn't mind an opportunity to audition because of this. Don't give him a job out of pity. Just let him in the door and he'll make it work. That's what he's trying to say. So he did his job. Once again, people going to shame them when ass backwards, and he's going to probably wind up getting some work. Good for Jeffrey Owens. That's all it really... Matter of fact, someone shame me. Do me a favor. Try to humiliate me, and maybe I'll either make $1 million or I'll get a job, or maybe I'll get picked up by a major radio station or something. That's just all I could think of, because people are very stupid, and sometimes stupid people can help you in reverse. So I'm looking at the Bleacher Report, and it seems that New York Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom has tied the Major League Baseball record with 25 consecutive starts, allowing 3 runs or less. You got it? 3 runs or less. So he has surrendered just 1 earned run in Monday's game yesterday against the Los Angeles Dodgers, making history in the process. deGrom has now allowed 3 or fewer runs in 25 straight starts, tying a modern-era Major League Baseball record, and that is per ESPN.com. The 30-year-old right-hander exited after 6 innings Monday with his ERA falling to 1.68 for the season. You got it? This means that in baseball, if you're not as familiar with baseball as other people, in a time when people have trained better, where they can hit for a lot, where starting pitchers don't go as long, where no lead is safe, this guy gives up less than 2 earned runs a game. And he tied a record that was set in 1910 by King Cole. And that's okay. Okay. Of course, he didn't earn the win in the process. But anyway, that is what I wanted to say. And he has a very good chance with his record. He's 8-8 for the year. He's just pitching .500 ball. But he has a very good chance of being the Cy Young pitcher, because in 2010, Felix Hernandez won the American League Cy Young in spite of his lackluster 13-12 overall record. It was okay. It was as this is saying, it was an important moment as it showed the voters were willing to look beyond just wins and losses. I wish boxing fans can do that, but that's another subject. So yes, Jacob deGrom has a very good chance, as my mom predicted, of winning the Cy Young when the season ends. And that's the story for that one. Oh, okie dokie. Let's play a song. Let's play a song that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I like oldies, so I found one from 1956. It's the Cadets, Stranded in the Jungle.
I crashed in the jungle while trying to keep a date with my little girl who was back in the States. I was stranded in the jungle, afraid and alone, trying to figure a way to get a message back home. But I was out to know that the wreckage of my plane had been picked up and spotted and my girl in Lover's Lane. And meanwhile, back in the States, baby, baby, let's make romance. You know your old time lover hasn't got a chance. He's stranded in the jungle, glad as he can be. So come on, pretty baby, just you and me. Meanwhile, back in the jungle, the boys in the jungle had me on the run when something heavy hit me like an atomic bomb. When I woke up and my head started to clear, I had a strange feeling I was with cooking gear. I smelled something cooking and I looked to see. That's when I found out they was cooking me. Great! Cookamooga! Let me out of here! And meanwhile, back in the States, baby, baby, let's make romance. You know your old time lover hasn't got a chance. He's stranded in the jungle, glad as he can be. So come on, pretty baby, just you and me. And meanwhile, back in the jungle, I jumped out the pot and I finally got away, frantic and worried about what my baby would say. So I jumped in the ocean and started to swim, but my chance of survival was getting mighty slim. So I thumbed down a whale who was in my way, and I reached the States in about half a day. And when I got to Lover's Lane, I was almost dead, but my soul was gone, and here's what I said. Baby, baby, the man is no good. Oh, baby, baby, you should have understood. You can trust me as long as you please. So come back, pretty baby, where you used to be. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you.
I have a feeling that song could not be released today, because I know that someone's going to say it's racist, whatever, but it's just a song, and it's a good song. And a lot of good music came out through history in less than 3 minutes. A lot of songs now go into 4, 5, 6 minutes, whatever it is. And there's a lot of good music that I can't play here because of the time. I mean, if I'm playing like a 6-minute song, there's a reason for it. But there's been a lot. Most of the best songs I feel have been short. beginning, middle, end, message, good beat, this, that, the other thing. And there's been a lot of great ones, especially back then, because that was the thing, a 45 single. And that was it. And I think it's good music. Anyway, that's another story. That's another record, another song played. We have a few more. In the meantime, I was looking at the New York Times. No wonder I'm off today. This headphone sounds weird. Let's see. From 0 to 10 million, vaping takes off in the U.S. Since 2004, millions of Americans have started using e-cigarettes. More than half also smoked. That's smoked. God, help! I need like a host out of the bullpen. More than half also smoke traditional cigarettes. All right. Well, we all know what e-cigarettes are. Those little things of various shapes and sizes. I see people get those real nice little small ones that you can plug into your computer, your laptop, and keep it charged at all times. Some have one that looks like a James Bond device or a Star Trek device. And I'm always wondering, and this just like, this is just, in that one sentence alone, it says what it leaves me with my usual question. Okay, more than half also smoke traditional cigarettes. All right. Well, we all know that pot smokers are going to keep smoking. It has nothing to do with cigarettes. People who smoke pipes are not kids. Cigar smokers, that's a whole other world in itself. But I'm wondering, with people who vape, who do not really smoke, what the hell are you doing? Why are you wasting your money, charging up a battery to sit there and put more smoke? It looks like a dragon breathing. I can get Godzilla to breathe out less. And you think you're doing good by like getting all these fancy schmancy scents. Why not just like Febreze your throat? Open your mouth and Febreze your throat. What is it with you people? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't smoke, so why fake smoke? I mean, if you don't have a thing about if you're not an alcoholic, why are you drinking alcohol-free beer? If you like beer, if you just why go for something that you don't need, that you don't do? So that's just All right, so now we know. 10. Wow. And I'm trying, is there even a number to this? It's just 15% of vapors had never smoked cigarettes and 30.4% had quit smoking them. Okay, good. It's a total waste. It looks stupid. I mean, all I could think of is like fog. That's what it looks like. People standing outside of a restaurant, all exhaling from their vape at one time, then a little bit of a toy, and it looks like fog. Dumbasses. Felt good. 9:30. It's 9:30. Jade, is there anything you'd like to tell us about coming up in the process? I knew it. I know she has something going. She doesn't like to tell anybody. It's a secret. I get to read about it on like skywriting.
All right. So this Thursday I'm going to be in Brooklyn at Stratosphere Studios. It's open mic, open jam. I'm going to be playing guitar in the house band. Starts at 8 o'clock. It's called the Blue Nile. It's a cool event. And then next Wednesday, I'm going to be at Sylvana in Harlem at 8 o'clock. Another awesome, cool jam called The Poet Will Be Televised. Same thing. I'm in the house band guitar. Yeah.
She doesn't stop talking. She just doesn't shut up. It's just great. Well, she's busy. I'm not playing in anyone's house band. I can play air cymbals. That's what I do. I play air cymbal. If you'd like to write to me, feel free to do it at upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Before I trip over my own tongue again, it's upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook. Upfront with Frank Rothstein on Facebook. I'm there. Leave a comment. Tell me something. Hello again to everybody on Live Me on both. And as always on Jade's feed, drop 10,000 coins worth of gifts on her head. Leave a big bump like in a cartoon on her head. And I will introduce Jade for an entire show in all those crazy, sick ways that I do it. It's 9:31. I'll be playing another song in a few minutes. But right now, is there anything else? Well, yeah, there is. Probably the biggest story this week is not something the president has done because he does too many things. So there is no big story. He just won, So as we all have heard now, as the New York Times has called it, the deafening silence of Colin Kaepernick. As we all know by now, he has been chosen to be the face of the new Nike campaign of Just Do It? Yeah, that is for the kneeling of the national anthem at the beginning of a football game. He was the first one to do it. We all know that. It did cost him his career. And it's coming up that he's now the campaign is around him. Let's put it that way. So at the time, I'll remind. I cannot hide from this. I have no need to. When he first took a knee, kneeling for the national anthem, it was something I did not agree with. Not because I did not agree with his right to do it. It was we all understand why he did it. It was because I sort of knew what was going to happen. And I figured he was going to lose his job when his contract was up. He did. He has not been picked up by the National Football League again. I thought he is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. That is not a small market team. That's a major spot. That's a major position in sports. I always figured that whether it was a Black Lives Matter or any other cause, he could have used his position and vast wealth to deliver his message in a different way. If he didn't like the organizations that were in existence, I thought he could create a new organization. That was just me. That's how I thought about it. Not everyone agreed with me. A couple did. Not everyone did. That's okay. Now he is going to be the face of the Nike campaign. I'll read a couple of words. A tall, unemployed... Let's see. Well, let me just read the caption. The former star is using social media savvy and a total lack of interviews to control the narrative of protests in the NFL. Okay. A tall, unemployed man took his niece to see Serena and Venus Williams play each other at the U.S. Open on Friday of last week. The man, a free agent football player, clad in a simple black T-shirt, was briefly shown on the video board of Arthur Ashe Stadium to thunderous applause from the crowd. His response was little more than a smile, enough to light up social media with messages of support. Okay. So Nike has a close-up of his face. That's their first ad. There's mixed feelings, of course, throughout the world, especially through fans. Once again on Twitter, I'm looking at a picture of a man who cut off the Nike swish, that little like check-looking mark, from his socks. You got it. Here's one guy who cut off the top of his socks because he doesn't want Nike anymore. That's stupid. Cutting off your socks, that's just stupid. But that's okay. Look, it's smart. It's smart. It's smart. The football season is starting. Nike is having a new campaign. Okay. They're taking controversy sells at all time. Okay. They will use this guy as their face. He will make some money off of it. He will now have voice again through this large, major corporation. And when this campaign ends, probably at the end of the season, maybe a little after, that will be that. What else is there? I mean, it's a very simple thing. It's not the first time that people have used controversy to sell their product, and it's not the first time that somebody has taken the opportunity and made some money doing it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Okay, you don't want to buy Nike? Don't. I promise you, somebody else will. It's just the way it is. It'll just work in the opposite way. So, the same people who used to love it, if they feel the need to boycott Nike, some people who usually would buy Reebok or something else will buy Nike just because he's there. You never know. I don't see there's a great deal of harm in it. It's another campaign. It won't be the first. It's not the first. Won't be the last. I promise you, someone else down the road will find someone else of controversy, and both sides will capitalize on the opportunity. It is smart. That's just the way it is. What else is going on? I'm going to play another song in a second or two. Let me see. How about... Oh, I even typed that in twice. Look at that. So we're not going to do that one. We'll get something a little happy going. How about song 7? Something a little happy. Yeah, we need that one. And you can use a little bit of a light moment here. Everything is so thick in the world, so heavy in the world. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh, but I see what Jade's posting. I'm looking at a thing on CNN. It says President Donald Trump says Nike's campaign with Colin Kaepernick sends terrible message. That's what he's done. This is not for a president who has more things to worry about than sneakers and Colin Kaepernick for him to say anything. He should keep his mouth shut, let it go on. They're not going to get rid of the campaign. This guy has enough to worry about. I don't even know if Donald Trump owns a pair of sneakers, much less this. Anyway, that's what okay, so 1 second. So we're going to play a song. What the hell? I found an old song from 1970. Has a nice little sound to it. It's Freddie Notes and the Roonies, Montego Bay. Short song. There we go. That was Freddie Note and the Roonies. I like that song. It has a nice little calm little thing going on. So what's going on? It's 9:41. Tomorrow I get to go to DMV. Yes, I get to renew my driver's license. And this year you get a menu of which license you want to pick. I can get the average license, which because in 2020 the regulations change. If I want a regular license with just a normal photograph, I'll need a passport to fly. Can you get that? So I can take another picture. Okay, I'm going to do that, or I don't need a passport to fly. And then there's another option in case I want to enter a federal building. I need a different picture. I'm not quite sure why, but there's a different types of pictures for all occasions, I guess. Now, I don't know what that means by federal building because I'm not going to an army base or the FBI. The only thing Federal I'll ever do is go to the post office. But okay, either way, I get to deal with the DMV. Oh, Lord. I'll be in trouble tomorrow. My brains will be fried. Hopefully it goes fast. I mean, I do admit that at some point in time, the last time I went, they were running it a little smoother. I got to give them credit for that. I'll probably just go to an express, a renewal DMV Express, and see if I can get the hell out of there fast. Yeah, so that's the story with that. How was everybody's holiday? I didn't even get to ask. I hope everybody had a good holiday. I don't know anybody with backyards anymore for barbecues. So I need a barbecue in my life. Maybe I'll just sit on my roof one next year and just with a little bit of a hibachi and do 2 or 3 dogs or whatever. So anyway, that's the story about that. And everything else is going okay. Feeling good. Whatever else is going good. I'm debating on what to do with my car. Do I want to donate my car or run it into the ground? I'm debating. Needs some body work. Needs a new front. Needs a new driver's seat. The rest of the car looks like new, but the driver's seat could be replaced. But I don't really drive it. And all I do is manage alternate side of the street parking. And I don't know. I'm debating. I'll see if I can get something for it and see what happens, I guess. That's just how I think on the subject. Anyone else have any thoughts? I'm looking. I don't see too many comments on my live me's. Anyone talking to you there? Sharing is good. You got more activity than I do tonight. I like this app. This app is funny because really all they want is gifts. All I'm asking people to do is things that cost you nothing. And it's difficult out here. Then again, there's a lot of gift whores on this app. A lot of people out there just for gifts and whatever else they can get. And I haven't checked the scoreboard, so I don't know what my Mets are doing. But I think, I don't know, I'm just feel like playing some music tonight. Here, we're going to play song number 4. Because I've put this on my song list I don't know how many times, and I never got to play it, or I just didn't play it. And this is from way back when. This is from 1955. This is Napoleon Nappy Brown and Don't Be Angry.
So don't be angry and drive me away. I knew I was wrong. Please let me stay. Well, I've been a fool, dear. Hurt you, I know. But I realize now that I love you so. If you will forgive me for causing you this pain, I promise you, my darling, I won't hurt you again. So don't be angry. Please hear what I say. Well, give me a chance, dear. Don't try me with love. Chance to prove my love is true. You won't regret it, dear, but I'll make it up to you. So don't be angry. Please hear what I say. Well, give me a chance, dear. Don't try me with love. Don't try me with love. Don't try me with love. Don't try me with love.
Yeah, I've been trying for months to play that song. I think I've brought it on my list here about 5 times. And I don't know why. I just never got done. I don't know. And I'm just going to music my way out of here. Because I've told my story, sad but true. And I'm tripping over myself. And my tongue is hurting because I'm tripping over as I speak. See? So anyway, song 6. There you got it. There's a lot of oldies. I'm playing oldies tonight. I like a lot of these things. And this is, well, from 1954. This is the Chords. Shaboom.
Life could be a dream. Shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and open we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, lang, lang, lang. Oh, 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 bip, a bip, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, maybe we'd be so fine. Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Shaboom.
It's a great song. That's just a great song. Now, I'm not going to say I was born at the wrong time because I was born at my time, but I do love old music, and there's nothing wrong with listening to old music. Otherwise, if there was, no one would ever listen to Beethoven, and no one would know who Elvis is and all those other things. So all those other good people. So, yes, listen to some oldies every now and then, every now and again, because, again, once again, I'm still tripping over myself. Once again, that song was about, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's all it was. Next to nothing. Oh, well. Yeah, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. I like short songs. Some of them are really great. I'm going to play one more song before I go in a couple of minutes. And what's next week? Just after the holiday? Yeah, just after the holiday. Rosh Hashanah is coming up next week. So that'll be it. The Jewish New Year. Yes, I can hear you from here, people. But we do celebrate, and I'll be feasting at my cousin's house, slicing up turkeys. Fortunately, she has sharp knives, and hopefully she lets the turkey rest before I go to work, and that's why I bring extra shirts, because it can get very messy in that kitchen, especially when you do not rest a turkey. And for people who do not know what that means, all resting a turkey is when you finish, even though you're draining it as you're baking it, as it's in the oven, when you're finally done, you know it's ready, you want to take it out of the pan, lift it up, and sort of suspend it a little. And usually it's done with a real turkey pan, but, and you want to let all the juice drip out. That way it dries out a little bit, and you can cut it properly, which is why my family yells at me that there's not enough skin, because a lot of it is really on the bottom, and I can't get to it. It just looks like that fat. So I will be petitioning again for a turkey rest not a breast, a turkey rest, and make my life a lot easier. But I will be carving in Brooklyn next week, this coming Sunday. And right about now, we're gonna let one more song play us out. So for all of you listening, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday, I wish you all a good week. And I'm going to play out with a man who used to have his band Social Distortion. This was his first album after Social Distortion, and I think Mike Ness is a talent. He always has been, and he has some great music out there. So anyway, from his 1999 album Cheating at Solitaire, this is Mike Ness, Rest of Our Lives. Have a good night.
In a traveling band, seen a lot of one-night stands, and still I find myself so very much alone. And it took those years to find myself, wasn't looking for no one else, and then I found you, girl. But you were there all alone. And we'll spend each day like it's the last day of the rest of our lives. I'll be the king, you'll be my wife. We'll make it through this thing called life and raise these kids on our own. The very best of you. 16 hours is a long, long time when you got a love that's on your mind. Can you tell that I'm not right? And we'll spend each day like it's the last day of the rest of our lives. Every day we'll fall in love a little more for the rest of our lives.
Year, AMVETS members volunteer millions of hours at VA healthcare facilities from coast to coast, helping to improve